Um, it says the federal ex-trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs, a hip-hop entrepreneur whose widely successful career has been dotted by allegations of violence, began on Monday in New York City with the jury selection that could last several days. Opening statements by lawyers and the start of the testimony are expected next week. Several dozen prospective jurors got a brief description of ex-trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges against Combs from the judge, who reminded them that Combs had pleaded not guilty and was presumed innocent. Me personally, right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm not taking this to trial. Whatever they were offering, I'm taking. If it's 15 years, I'm taking. If it's 20 years, I'm taking. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna go ahead and end it, and we'll try to appeal it. But I'm not about to continue to pay these lawyers out. I'm pretty sure the feds have a lot of information. This isn't your local PD, all right? This isn't the local lawyer down the street that live right next door to you. Though this is the feds. That means they got money for days. What we'll see. We don't know what the plea deal was. It may have been something ridiculous, 50 years. But they said with all of these charges, it's up to life. Um, and the crazy thing is racketeering. So even just like kind of like the Young Thug trial, everyone's like, "Oh, he beat the Young Thug didn't beat it. Yeah, he beat the Rico, but he still got 15 years. He still pled guilty to other charges, so he didn't beat anything but the Rico. You know what I mean? But there's still other charges. Just like this is ex trafficking, also is Rico. So there's more than one charge that he has here. So if one don't stick, they can still hit you with one of the other charges. So in order to beat this, it's like freaking 12 different charges that he has. So anything could, anything can happen. Yeah, you might be able to beat the Rico. You might be able to beat like the ex trafficking, but can you beat the ex abuse? You see what I'm saying? It's so much stuff. Can you beat uh what else do they got? I forgot they got another one where you got them under the influence, have them going against their will. There's a whole bunch of different things. You got ex trafficking, and you got kidnapping, moving somebody from one room to another room against their will. It's all kinds of stuff that you got to beat. So that's why I'm looking at it like, man, at this point, what, I'm 56, 57. I lived a good enough life. Uh, I'm going ahead and take the damn plea. Try to get like a 15 piece, 15, 20 piece. I can get out when I'm 70. Have at least 100 M left. But then there's 60 other lawsuits that are there for Diddy also. So it's just all kinds of wild shit right now. As the judge spoke, Combs sat with his lawyers. He wore a sweater over a white collar shirt and gray slacks, which the judge had allowed rather than jail clothing. Combs, 55, has been held in the Grim federal lockup in Brooklyn since his arrest last September. His hair and goatee were almost fully gray because dye isn't allowed in jail. Unlike other recent high profile celebrity trials, Combs' court case won't be broadcast live because federal courtrooms do not allow electronic recordings inside, meaning courtroom sketch artists serve as the public eye in the courtroom. So we won't hear anything. We'll just be getting updates. Right now, they are currently on lunch. I'm not sure what time they went on lunch. Last update I seen was they were on lunch. This is just jury selection. So we'll see a line about 600 to 700 people that are lining up. Because think about it. If you got called for jury selection and you had to go in today, you don't know if it's Diddy trial or not. But you making sure you show up because if I was a New York City resident and I had jury selection, oh yeah, I'm showing up there. I'm showing up there. I'm trying to get on this one. I'm trying to get on this trial right here. This right here, I won't say the trial of the century, but it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be the trial of the damn 25. I tell you that. 24, 25, some of the wildest shit. This is definitely a trial that I would, the hell with my job. I'm gonna go up here for the 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight on money anyway. Go up here for the 8 weeks, get my little $25 a day, pay close attention, and as soon as this thing is over with, I'm writing a book about what I experienced in there. What was my reasoning behind going by, going by either saying a nigga guilty or the nigga innocent. I'm writing book. I'm about to do everything. Straight going to interviews after that. I'm about to turn my YouTube channel up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you said here's an opportunity. Hey, this is my experience. When artists go through their life situations, what they do, they put it in their music. So if I want to write a book about my experience in my first court case, this shit, so be it. You know what I mean? I got jury selection one time, but I didn't get picked. But anyway, the trial is expected to take at least 8 weeks. If convicted, he faces the possibility of decades in prison. Several prospective jurors indicate that they have seen reports featuring a key piece of evidence in the case, a video of the hip hop mogul attacking one of his accusers in the Los Angeles hotel hallway in 2016, which is Cassie, which she will be taking the stand. One prospective juror described a still image he saw from a video as damning evidence. The woman was rejected from consideration. Now, of course, you can't go in there and lie. So I'd have to tell him I seen the video. Um, do I feel a certain type of way? Nah. You know what I mean? He paid, he did what he had to do, so I ain't got nothing to do with that. I can't judge them. I need whatever evidence they're gonna present. Now, if they bring it back up and I see it again, it is just in context. Okay, cool. It is what it is. I see that this nigga got a pass, but just going off right now, hey, I don't feel no certain type of way about it. She got $30 million for it. Not making light of the situation, but if I got my ass whooped and got $30 million, y'all can clown me, do whatever y'all want. I got paid for what happened to me. After another juror was dismissed, Combs asked for a bathroom break, telling the judge, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today." Yeah, you're going to be nervous, nigga. The 17-page indictment against Combs, which reads like a charging document filed against a mafia leader of the head of a drug gang, alleges that Combs engaged in 2 decades patterns of abusive behavior against women and others, with the help of people in his entourage and employees from his network of business. Now, remember, they're trying to get him with a Rico, but no one else is getting charged with this. Well, that's because a lot of these people, a lot of these associates, they already flipping. They already about to tell their information, just like Zeke. I'm gonna tell them what I know. So you got to think about it. They don't want you. They want the big fish. You might as well tell what you know. 9 times out of 10, most of these people, yeah, they were willing participants, but they were also doing it to keep a job. So you're like, man, I feared for my life. I feared for my job. I knew what Diddy was capable of. So if all of this stuff is true, which we've been hearing about it for decades, if all of it's true, then yeah, I mean, I feared for my life working for Diddy. I knew he was crazy. I knew he was going up beside niggas' heads. You know what I mean? Like, it's all alleged, but I mean, we seen the Cassie. So if he would do that to Cassie, I know the nigga wouldn't do that to me because it is what it is. They're gonna have to kill me because I'm going back at it. But I mean, it is what it is. This is his situation. So I don't really want to hear the system is set up for us to fail. It may be, but in this situation, this is Diddy's doing. You know what I mean? This ain't got nothing to do with us black folk. This is on Diddy versus America. This is the United States. This ain't us. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Remember, he's Diddy. He ain't Sean Combs. He Diddy. So this is his life. Combs and his lawyers say he's innocent, and any group X was consensual. They say there was no effort to coerce people into things that they didn't want to do, and nothing that happened amounted to a criminal racket. Prosecutors say women were manipulated in drug-fueled X performances with male X workers that Combs called freak-offs. To women in line, prosecutors say Combs used a mix of influence and violence. He offered to boost their entertainment careers if they did what he asked, or cut them off if he didn't. And when he wasn't getting what he wanted, the indictment says Combs and his associates resorted to violent acts, including beatings, kidnappings, and arson. Once the indictment alleges he even dangled someone from a balcony. Now, if any of this is true here, this isn't the system is set up for us to fail. If any of it's true, if he hung you over a balcony, would you want us to get on here and say, "Oh man, suck that up, man. They just trying to bring down a black man"? No, you wouldn't say that. If they hung your ass over a balcony, you'd be like, "Man, fuck Diddy." Now, all of this is alleged, but I'm just trying to say that's how I'm looking at it. You know, I ain't got no dog in this fight. I never liked Diddy anyway. You know what I mean? Not saying I know him personally, but I was never like really a fan of the dude. He was always goofy to me, but hey, that's just me. Combs has acknowledged one episode of violence that is likely to be featured in trial. In 2016, a security camera recorded him beating his former girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassie, In the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel, Cassie filed a lawsuit in late 2023 saying Combs had subjected her to years of abuse, including beatings and the R word. The Associated Press does not typically name people who say they've been actually abused unless they come forward publicly, as Cassie, whose legal name Cassandra Ventura, did. Combs' attorney, Mark Anfalil, I don't know how to, we just gonna call him Mark, lawyer Mark, has said Combs was not a perfect person and that there had been drug use and toxic relations, but said the actual activity between Combs and Cassie and other people were consensual. So one thing the judge, I mean not the judge, the attorney is, all right, look, we not saying none of that stuff happened. It didn't happen. We just saying that Combs was on drugs. He was drunk. What kind of defense is that? And then Diddy already made that apology talking about, yeah, I was at a point in my life. Drugs, liquor is not an excuse. Maybe if you would have came out back then, hey, I'm addicted, I need to go to rehab and started documenting. But you can't just say, hey, I was whooping ass and taking names because I was drunk. You know what I mean? It's like, it just don't make any sense. Terrible defense. You could have paid me $100,000, Diddy. I could have got up there and said something better than this. He's not a perfect person. I want my lawyer to say Diddy is an angel. I need them to say that Diddy would never do anything. What you seen on there was something else that happened to cause that. I'm not saying my client was on drugs. My client was drinking. He ain't a perfect person. Because now we hear you say he ain't a perfect person. So that means all the imperfect things that he did that are alleged, we got to kind of look at it like, well, this nigga ain't a perfect person. They ain't even try to paint him as a good guy. You got to look at it from the jury. And then they got all white women or the prosecutors. Oh, yeah. They on your ass. They're going to be crying up there. They're going to be listening to the victim statements. That's enough. That's enough. You don't have to do anything. They're going to be showing emotion up there. The jury going to be seeing this. And we already know you not a perfect person and you like to get drunk and high. So like, man, we looking at you like, nigga, you just a junkie with money, nigga. Oh man, what up, Candy? Yeah, this is a terrible defense here. Let's see. Well, let's go back into we're just gonna go over the history of it. And the trial is the most serious in a long string of legal problems for Combs. Here we go. They always got to bring up your criminal past. I ain't got nothing on my criminal past. You know what I'm saying? Everything I got it removed, speeding tickets, never been convicted of any felonies or no misdemeanors or nothing. You know what I mean? I may have did some time just being held, you know what I'm saying? My due process. In 1999, he was charged with bursting into the offices of Interscope Records executive with his bodyguards and beating him with a champagne bottle and chair. The executive, Steve Stout, later asked prosecutors to go easy on Combs, who pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and took anger management class. So 99, we got an ass whooping with a champagne bottle. Later that same year, Combs was stopped by the police after he and his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez, fled a nightclub where 3 people were wounded by gunfire. Combs was acquitted of all charges related to the episode at the 2001 trial, but the rapper and his entourage, Jamal Sean, a.k.a. was convicted in the shooting and served nearly 9 years in prison. We know that Sean has came out and said he didn't do it. The lady that was actually shot in the face said Diddy allegedly did it. So Sean already had his whole thing about that, and they allegedly paid him a couple $1 million and had a scholarship program down in Belize for Diddy to pay him off. But that's all alleged. Then in 2015, Combs was charged with assaulting someone with a weight room kettlebell at the University of California, Los Angeles, where his sons played football. His son was trash. Diddy paid a lot of money to get his son down there. We already got a video on my channel about which one was it? Justin Combs, sorry as hell in football. His dad went down there, wasn't giving him no play time because the nigga was trash. Diddy attacked him with a kettlebell, and he got charged with that. Combs said he was defending himself, and the prosecutors dropped the case. So that's a little update on Diddy right there. As far as what's going on leading up to where we are right now. So he should have claimed mental illness, defense, something like that. Other people. See, the thing is, he would have had to, I don't think that pleading mental health would work because we got a video of him apologizing. When you was apologizing, you just said you was messed up at the time. You didn't say you was like mentally ill. You just on drugs and drinking. But a mental illness wouldn't work here because they're gonna go off of, nah, we seen you executing like through all this time. We seen you doing TV shows, the band, Danny Lee Kane. We seen you doing all of it. You ain't had no mental illness then. You just had mental illness whenever you was whooping ass in X trafficking alleged. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that would, I don't know, that would suck. Now they are trying to bring in an actual doctor